A small-town clothing store manager's dreams come true when she is given a job to run an exclusive women's boutique in Manhattan. But she quickly realizes that managing her job in the big city is much harder than she anticipated. Ever since she was a kid, Taylor Morgan always wanted to reside in Manhattan. The movie opens with her monologue. She says that, for her, Manhattan is the center of the universe, especially the fashion universe. Taylor currently works as a manager in a small clothing store in her hometown. Alyssa Stone walks in her store and is greeted by Taylor. She looks at how Taylor helps a customer decide which clothing to buy for a job interview. Taylor goes back to Alyssa, who asks her why she chose that dress for her customer even though both would work for her, to which she replies that she knows that customer is a little shy and that she would carry herself better in something with more class. Alyssa is intrigued and asks her which of the two dresses she is holding would suit her better. Taylor honestly answers that neither of the dresses is for her, and tells her that she needs something bolder to bring out her eyes and skin tone. She tells her that she is a vibrant winter and pulls out 3 different colored dresses for Alyssa to try on. Pam, Taylor's friend and co-worker in the store, is amazed by how she gets customers to try on dresses. Alyssa comes out and says that she likes it. She asks how she knew what dress would suit her. Pam says that Taylor always knows and calls her a wardrobe psychic. Alyssa says that she likes Taylor's style and asks her to work for her as a manager in her boutique in Manhattan, as she would be too busy to handle it, since she would also be working on her brand's expansion. She tells her that she needs someone who is experienced, fresh, and talented to take over. She says that Taylor could buy the plane ticket to New York, and she would take care of the place that she can stay until she gets settled, and adds that she would buy the 3 dresses that Taylor picked for her. At home, Taylor looks up Alyssa's brand online, looks at her photos and her high school certificate with the title, "Most Likely to Conquer the Fashion World," and decides to accept Alyssa's offer. So, she flies to New York alone and full of enthusiasm. She goes inside Alyssa's boutique called Align and sees 2 employees, Mindy and Courtney. Mindy mistakes her for a wanderer while Courtney mistakes her for a customer. Taylor introduces herself as their new manager, but the 2 don't mind her and say that Alyssa is their manager. Alyssa welcomes Taylor and reintroduces her to them. The 2 ladies are shocked as Alyssa didn't mention hiring a new manager, let alone expanding her brand. She adds that Taylor would be living with Mindy for the meantime before she can find her own place to stay. Alyssa brings Taylor to a storage room where they keep the store's records and documents. Taylor asks her if she really didn't tell Mindy and Courtney that she will be coming in as their new manager. Alyssa answers that she doesn't want to see their sour faces for a week just because she didn't pick one of them to be the new manager. Taylor laughs shyly and brings up how she will be living with Mindy. Alyssa tells her that Mindy owes her big time and that it's just temporary. She then asks Taylor to sort all her papers up. At Mindy's apartment, Taylor sees that it is quite a small place for the 2 of them. Mindy says that Taylor can sleep on the couch. Taylor picks up a pillow on the couch and is surprised to see Mindy's cat, Oscar, sitting there. Mindy says he will warm up to her. Taylor still adjusts to the busy streets of the big city on her way to work. She goes into the store to see Courtney folding clothes while complaining about a customer trying all the clothes and buying nothing. She gives her advice, saying not to take customers too personally, to which Courtney replies that she takes everything there personally. Taylor apologizes for Mindy and Courtney, feeling that either of them should have been made manager. She then tells her that she would be a great boss to her if she would be a great employee to her. Courtney insults her sarcastically and goes off to lunch, leaving the unfolded clothes to Taylor. Taylor goes to a busy pizza shop. She raises her hand in effort to get the attention of the person in charge, but to no luck, she is left unnoticed in the crowd. A man stands next to her and sees that she is not getting paid attention to. His name is Philip Barter, a real estate agent in the city. He looks at her and jokes that at the rate that she is going, she will get served next week. He asks if she is not from around here and offers to help her order. Somehow annoyed, Taylor declines, walks out and sits on a bench in the park. Philip goes to her with a pizza box and offers her a slice. She accepts and he sits next to her. They introduce themselves to each other and have a chat. They ask each other where they are from. Philip is from New York and Taylor, Ohio. He tells her that Manhattan is the survival of the fittest and advises her to move faster, push harder, and talk louder. He asks her where she is living. She sarcastically answers, implying that her place is bad. He tells her that she is in luck because he is a realtor and gives her his card. She thanks him but says that she will just look for a place online since there are a million. He laughs and offers her another slice of pizza for the road. She accepts and thanks him. He tells her that she is cool and reminds her to just be herself. She shows a faint smile and stays silent. He says goodbye to her and leaves. Taylor repeats what Philip told her, move faster, push harder, and talk louder, as she walks back to the boutique. She focuses on what she is saying instead of where she is walking, and so, she trips. At the boutique, Alyssa explains to Taylor that the business's goal is to open up 3 new branches in 3 years. She adds that she needs to show her investors double-digit growth from her business, or they're out and her expansion won't happen. Alyssa expects Taylor to help her reach the business's goal. Taylor is concerned that there is too less foot traffic in their boutique. She tells Pam about the problem in her work. Pam tells her to try one of their techniques back at her clothing store in Ohio, wherein they offer free home-baked cookies to attract more customers. Taylor tries to bake using Pam's recipe but ends up overcooking them, so she buys the cookies instead. She diligently offers the cookies in front of their boutique to the people walking by, hoping to increase their customer number. Things didn't go as she planned, as only those who are not potential customers get the cookie. A potential customer asks if the cookies are gluten-free, but then backs away when Taylor stammers in answering. Taylor ends up giving all the cookies to a homeless lady once she realizes that she won't increase the foot traffic in their boutique with cookies. She goes back inside the shop, disappointed. Alyssa notices Taylor as she fixes a mannequin in frustration. Alyssa looks at her, quite surprised, when she says that there is a human touch missing to wake people up. She explains to her that the people who work and shop there would never put sugar and chocolate in their body. She advises Taylor to know her audience. Taylor says it back to her, saying that maybe the foot traffic in Alyssa's boutique has slowed down because she has lost touch with her audience. Alyssa raises her brow at Taylor with a hint of insult as she hears Taylor say those words. Taylor comes to her senses and realizes that what she has said is quite offensive and quickly apologizes to Alyssa, saying that she doesn't know anything compared to her. She says sorry one more time before Alyssa points to her. Alyssa smirks, saying that it is honesty that gets people into their boutique. She adds that it is why she hired her and tells her to not disappoint her. Taylor shows a smile as she accepts Philip's friend request while standing in a line at a coffee shop. A customer in Alyssa's boutique is holding a dress while looking at the mirror. She says that she loves it. Taylor fakes a smile as she looks at the two ladies at the back that the customer is with. The customer asks Taylor if she likes it as well. Taylor politely tells her that she is not so sure that the dress suits her, as she is tall and graceful, and the dress doesn't show her off to her best advantage. The two ladies at the back look at each other. The customer looks down. Her enthusiasm in the dress is now gone. She looks confused with what Taylor is talking about. Taylor further explains that all eyes should be on her when she walks in a room, and not the dress. The customer is starting to look annoyed as Taylor continues to explain that a classic and elegant look suits the customer better. She purses her lips and puts back the dress to the rack. She thanks Taylor for the help, although she doesn't mean it, and prepares to leave. Taylor pulls out a black dress that she thinks would look good on the customer. Unfortunately, the customer has made up her mind to leave. She declines and tells her that she would be looking elsewhere. The customer walks out with the two ladies. One lady looks back at Taylor as they leave the boutique. Disheartened, Taylor puts the dress back on the rack. At Mindy's place, Taylor struggles to sleep due to the noise of the busy streets of the city. She mutters to herself that she needs to find her own place. The next day, she goes on a hunt to find her own place through the listings she found online. To no luck, they were all too expensive or too inconvenient for her. She tells Mindy about this. Mindy jokes that now Taylor knows why she stays in a shoebox. Taylor says that she thought she had choices, to which Mindy replies that she can move out of Manhattan and get some roommates, or get a realtor. The customer from the other day, the one that walked out because of Taylor's statements, walks into the boutique with the same two ladies she was with before. Mindy and Courtney are awestruck as they see her. Unbeknownst to Taylor, that customer is Kendall Riker, a famous celebrity from a TV show. Taylor welcomes Kendall, who says that she was surprised how Taylor handled things the last time. Taylor reasons that she just wanted to help her find the perfect dress. Kendall tells her that sometimes the truth can hurt, to which she refers to Taylor telling her the truth about her features the other day. She then asks Taylor to help her and her friends, the two ladies behind her, to shop for some clothes. She even adds that she likes Taylor's outfit. They end up buying lots of clothes. Alyssa sees this and is proud. She asks Taylor what they have there, to which she answers that she was honest. Mindy asks Kendall for a picture and Kendall asks Taylor to join her, Mindy, and Courtney in the photo. Philip sends a text to Taylor asking about her apartment hunt. Realizing that she needs a realtor to find a decent apartment, Taylor goes to Philip's company and looks for him. He quickly sees her and asks her if she is ready to go look for an apartment. Taylor informs him that she wants to find the best place for the least amount of money. Philip assures her that she is in good hands. He then reminds her that they are in New York and once she sees a place she likes, she must quickly grab it or a million other people would. Taylor says his phrase, survival of the fittest, and laughs. He brings her to a big apartment. Taylor says she can't afford it and jokes about renting just the small corner of it. Philip tells her to not sell herself short. He adds that she can afford the place when she owns the boutique soon. She tells him that she does want to own her own store and asks him as to why he knows it too, which he answers that he knows aspiration when he sees it. She tells him that she must keep her job first. He assures her and says that her boss is lucky to have her working for them. They move on to the next apartment. It is a cozy-looking apartment that is smaller than the first one. Taylor asks him where the place is in the aspiration scale, to which he answers that it is starter aspirational. She then asks him about the rent scale. He looks at his documents and shows an astounded look. Taylor looks too and is quite stunned. She was expecting it to be less as the place doesn't look like much. He tells her that it says in his documents that the apartment comes with a view. They both go look at the window only to see a view of the house beside it. Taylor sarcastically says that it's lovely and adds that it is still too expensive. They end their apartment hunt for the day. Philip says that she will be fine, and someday, soon, she will be able to afford one of the expensive places that they have seen earlier. Taylor says that she will be staying on Mindy's couch until then. He says that maybe some amazing rent control studio would show up on the market soon. He asks her if she wants to share a cab with him back downtown. She accepts and he tells her to hail a cab. She is surprised. He explains that successfully hailing a cab in Manhattan is a rite of passage, which she has not done yet. A little anxious, Taylor goes to the curb and tries to hail a cab. She fails to do so Philip hails a cab for them. She jokes that she would be more impressed if he hailed her an apartment. He says that he's starving and asks her if she wants to grab some Indian food. They eat together at an Indian food truck. Taylor likes the food even though she doesn't know what it is. Philip explains to her the ingredients of the food and tells her that it is the best in Manhattan. Taylor comments on his knowledge of the food, saying that he has spoken like a native. He says that she'll also feel like one soon. She rolls her eyes and tells him that she has got it all figured out back in Ohio, and that Manhattan feels like a whole different planet. He tells her that if it was vice versa and he was moved to a town in Ohio, he would feel as if he was on a different planet, too. Taylor asks him how it is like working for his family as Philip's parents also work in real estate. He answers that he grew up in real estate and it felt like the right thing to do. He adds that he loves it but he has other interests like food and food trucks. Taylor stares at him for a second and asks if he likes food trucks for lunch or for work, to which he shrugs and replies that maybe he likes it for both. He says that food makes everyone happy, including him, but then says that it's a stupid idea. Taylor disagrees with him and brings up his statement of seeing something one wants and grabbing it. He tells her that he only meant it when finding an apartment. Taylor laughs. He says that next time, they'll eat at a Cuban food truck. Taylor gets startled by his suggestion. Philip clarifies that he means by next time that they would be looking for apartments. She stammers while saying that she knows what he meant, and that she just hopes that he's not looking for a higher bracket than she is, and that she doesn't want to waste his time. He says that she is not wasting her time at all. They both show a small smile and continue to eat. At the boutique, Mindy and Courtney look at each other with somewhat puzzled faces, as Taylor tells a customer that the dress she is holding is beautiful, but predictable. Taylor tells the customer to show her unpredictable side, to which the customer tells her that most people, especially her husband, don't think that she even has an unpredictable side. Taylor says that they are wrong for believing so and suggests to the customer to try some patterns. She gets 2 dresses for her to try. The customer accepts, smiling as she thanks her. Courtney goes to Taylor and asks her how she did that. Confused, Taylor asks her what she is talking about. Mindy also comes to her and answers that she basically just said that the customer is wrong. Courtney agrees with Mindy and brings up that Taylor said that the customers are always right. Taylor says that they are right until they are not. Mindy scoffs. She and Courtney are more confused than before. Taylor further explains that they just need to pay attention to who the customers are and help them find what's best for those customers, not what's best for them as sellers. She asks if they understand it and tells them to give it a try. The following day, Philip goes looking for Taylor in their boutique. Mindy and Courtney are intrigued as he walks in. They both welcome him. Courtney even hits on him by subtly winking at him, as he asks if he is looking for something special for his partner. Their interest in him goes down when he says that he is looking for Taylor. Taylor sees him and asks him what he is doing there, and introduces Mindy and Courtney to him. He tells her that he is just showing an apartment in the area and asks her if she wants to join him for lunch at the Cuban food truck he told her about. Taylor kindly declines and apologizes, saying that she has so much to do in her job. Mindy quickly cuts her and says to Philip that Taylor would like to go on another day. Mindy looks at Taylor with huge eyes, prompting her to agree. Taylor smiles and agrees. She goes on to ask Philip about her apartment hunt. They move away from Mindy and Courtney for some privacy. He says that there is nothing new for her and that he would keep her updated. He then adds that she looks great today. She thanks him and smiles before he leaves. She goes back to Mindy and Courtney, who ask her about Philip. She tells them that there is nothing to tell, as he is just a realtor who is helping her find a new apartment. Mindy and Courtney laugh at what she just said, saying that she knows how to handle customers, but she has no clue about men whatsoever. Courtney even implies that Philip really came in the neighborhood just for her, and not because he was showing an apartment nearby. Taylor disagrees and says that he works all over the city. She adds, saying that even if she was interested in him, which she is not, according to her, she doesn't have time for it as she needs to focus on their boutique. Courtney tells her that Philip is a catch and that she needs to work on it. Mindy adds that she should at least be friends with him as she has no friends in Manhattan, excluding Oscar the cat. That night, Philip sends Taylor a text about their lunch at the Cuban food truck. His text includes the time and place of their lunch. Taylor thinks about it while petting the cat. She decides to go. They eat their Cuban sandwiches on a picnic spot. They both compliment the food that they are eating. Philip looks at Taylor and laughs as she has mustard on her top lip. He wipes it off and continues to look at her for a second after. Taylor says that he has picked the most beautiful spot in the city. He tells her that she needs some downtime as Manhattan is really hectic at times. He looks at her as she agrees. She says that it is the perfect place to have lunch with a potential friend. He laughs and makes a remark about her usage of words. He asks if that is what they do in Ohio, to which she replies it is just what she does in New York. He says that he likes it and that it makes her herself. Taylor smiles and agrees. As they walk, Philip tells Taylor his theory that it is more important for customers to respect and trust her in business than just like her as a person. Taylor says that she wants to be protective of the customer's feelings while being honest, as people appreciate it. He agrees and says that he is only saying that it's okay to do what's good for her and her customers, and work against buyers' expectations. Taylor notices the cyclists around them and says that she misses riding bicycles. Philip monotonously says that it looks fun. Taylor says that they should go ride a bike at the moment. He agrees, but it turns out that he doesn't know how to. Taylor laughs at him, saying she thought he knew how when he agreed. He reasons out that he thought it was easy, as from the phrase as easy as riding a bike. Taylor teaches him along the way as they go. He says that she's a good teacher and thanks her, to which she replies that it is because she grew up in suburbia. Philip asks her if she misses Ohio. She replies that she does, but not as much as when she first got to New York. He says that it would be better once she gets her own place. Taylor asks if he wants to share a cab with her, to which he agrees. She stops him from walking first and says that she will be the one to hail a cab. He smiles with his mouth open as he watches her confidently walk to the curb and successfully hail a cab. Mindy and Courtney go to Taylor in the storage room to ask about how she comes up with her outfits. They are asking her to teach them since Philip and Kendall seem to like her outfits. Taken by surprise, Taylor asks them if they are joking, to which they say no. She squints her eyes and looks at them seriously and agrees to teach them after work. Mindy asks Taylor if Philip has asked her on a date again. Taylor says that they are just friends. Courtney tells her that guys like him don't really have female friends, to which Taylor replies that he has one now. Mindy and Courtney sarcastically say okay and leave the room. Taylor finds clothes stashed in a room. They are unsold merchandise from last season. Taylor persuades Alyssa to sell them. She doesn't want to and says that they don't do discounts. Rather, they do a one-day private invitation-only sale. Taylor insists and repeats what Philip said. Sometimes we have to work against buyers' expectations. With her effort, Taylor convinces Alyssa to allow her to sell the unsold merchandise. Taylor is standing in a line in a shop and asks Pam about how to sell the old clothes. Pam tells her about the summer sidewalk sale that they did before at their shop in Ohio. A customer cuts the line in front of Taylor, whom she firmly said to back off. Pam hears this and asks about it. Taylor answers that it is the survival of the fittest. Thanks to Pam's idea, a line has a summer sidewalk sale, which is a huge success, increasing their sales for the month by 6%. However, Alyssa says that it's not good enough as they need double-digit growth. Taylor suggests that Alyssa make it her strategy to put out discounts. Alyssa smiles and considers it. At Mindy's apartment, Taylor talks with her about her struggle finding her own apartment. Mindy says that she can move in there for real and only charges for little. Taylor goes to meet Philip at his company. She tells him about moving in with Mindy. Philip asks if he is still going to see Taylor now that they won't be working together. She asks him if he wants to see her, to which he replies yes and adds that he is aiming to become her full-pledged friend, and not only a potential one as Taylor said the other day. Taylor asks if that is all he is aiming for, because that is just what Taylor is doing, too. He says that he is only being a gentleman and proceeds to ask her out on Sunday. Philip gives her a New York sightseeing tour. He shows her a building and tells her some details about it. Taylor is amazed with the building. Philip says that there is one thing missing there: food trucks. He says that he wants to put his food truck only at city landmarks. Taylor utters Phil Landmark Eats, suggesting his brand name, to which he agrees. They have some drinks at a bar. Philip asks Taylor about her past relationships. He assumes that no one in Ohio has ever snapped her up. She tells him that she was engaged before, but her fiancé decided to marry the girl he was cheating on with instead. She then asks Philip why he never tried to make his food truck a reality. He says that he is a realist and his work is stable right now. Taylor suggests he start the process of it. He invites her to his place tomorrow night to cook for her. Taylor looks at his place and compliments that his place is so himself. They eat a romantic, formal dinner with Ohio dishes he prepared for her. She praises his cooking and tells that those foods are what he should serve in his food truck. He says that he'll drink to her statement and they toast to it. She asks him where he learned cooking, to which he replies that he was cooking since he was a kid, since his parents weren't around much to cook for him, and that he got better along the way. Taylor says that maybe going into food trucks is the right path for him, and shares that she used to pick clothes for her friends during high school. He says that they are lucky, and they both smile. He continues saying that he is lucky, too, and goes in to kiss her. The two share a romantic kiss on the balcony. Taylor finds Alyssa's fashion designs as she is running through the documents in the storage room. She quickly puts them back in the drawer when Alyssa calls her. Philip shows her his potential food truck. She is happy for him finally following his dream. He says that she inspired him and that he thinks that achieving his dream is possible after all. He offers drinks to celebrate and she agrees. The following day, he tells her that his parents disapprove of his dream. His mother said that he is leaving his lucrative job to sell chilies to secretaries and construction workers, while his father said that he is leaving their legacy if he continues his dream. Taylor tells him to follow his heart. He holds her hand and says that is what he is doing with her. Taylor looks down and discourages him. He puts his hand back to him as she explains that she is busy with her work and doesn't have the time for relationships. Philip is upset and says that they barely even started anything. Taylor tells him that they should hit pause while they're friends before anyone gets disappointed. Philip says that he is not like her past relationship, and adds that even though plenty of people hurt him in the past, it only made him want to find the girl that is right for him even more. Taylor looks at him softly for a second and cracks a joke, and he smiles. She asks what he is going to do, to which he replies that he is going to perfect his chili recipe. Taylor wakes up uncomfortably in Mindy's apartment and sends a text to Philip that they won't pause their relationship, and that she needs to find a new apartment. Kendall goes to a line to return some of the clothes she bought as they are not working with her wardrobe. Taylor agrees to refund her even though it is way past their 7-day return policy. Alyssa sees this and discourages her, saying that it's against their policy and bad for business. Taylor argues that it is good customer relations and suggests to deduct the refund money from her paycheck instead. Alyssa agrees sternly. Philip texts Taylor that he has found her dream place. They both go to see a lovely place owned by an elderly lady moving overseas. She approves of Taylor and says that she will think about allowing her to rent the place. Taylor asks Philip about his parents and his decision with his food truck. He tells her that he won't be continuing his dream for now. Taylor suspects that his parents talked him out of it. He says that it's complicated, and she tells him to think about it. He says that it's not the right time for it and says that he has to go back to his office. He asks Taylor out for the next day and gives her a kiss on the cheek before he leaves. Alyssa informs Taylor that her investors want her to lessen the quality of their merchandise to increase quantity for bigger returns. Taylor proposes to think of a way to retain quality while gaining profit. Alyssa accepts and tells her to surprise her. Taylor thinks of a pre-fall launch with never-before-seen fashion. She shows Mindy and Courtney Alyssa's designs that she thinks are amazing. Mindy and Courtney try to discourage her, saying that they were hidden for a reason. Taylor shows the designs to Philip. He tells her to go for it and trust her instincts. He puts the idea to her that she and Alyssa can start their own exclusive fashion label and entirely cut off their investors. Taylor likes the idea but worries how she can have the clothes made. Philip refers her to a tailor who decides to make the clothes for free since he likes the designs. After the clothes have been made in a week, Taylor, Mindy, and Courtney decide to surprise Alyssa with her own designs. Alyssa, supported by Mindy and Courtney, walks towards the clothes with her hands on her eyes while giggling. She puts her hands down and becomes silent. She can't believe that her designs have been made real. She asks Taylor where she found them. Taylor answers that she found them stashed in a drawer and proceeds to talk about the future of her designs and business with it. Alyssa just stays silent while looking at the dresses. She then calls out Alyssa for using her designs without asking for her permission, saying that she betrayed her. She tells her that her designs weren't any good, and that she doesn't need Taylor to remind her of that. Taylor disagrees. Alyssa starts to get more emotional and says that Taylor has had a colossal lack of judgment, and continues to say that after that stunt that Taylor has pulled, she doesn't even know why she brought her there. Taylor tears up and agrees and says that she doesn't belong there. She says goodbye and leaves. Philip sees her and asks what happened. Taylor tells him about how Alyssa hated her and so she quit. Taylor then blames him for encouraging her. He asks why she didn't fight for what she believed in and asks where her aspiration has gone. She brings the question back to him, saying that he is a hypocrite since he stayed in real estate with his parents. He says that she has become a New York cynic. She walks past him and gets into a cab. Mindy finds a thank you note from Taylor and shows it to Alyssa. Alyssa asks if Taylor isn't going back. She answers that she didn't even know that she would be leaving. In Ohio, Taylor tells everything to Pam, who encourages her to go back to New York and work in a different store. Taylor declines. Pam advises her to at least let someone from New York know where she is. Taylor lets Philip know that she is in Ohio through a text message. She doesn't reply to him when he asks if everything is all right. At Alyssa's store, Mindy and Courtney show Alyssa an attitude since she is not promoting either of them. Kendall walks in looking for Taylor. She says that she will be having a large shopping spree since Taylor did her a huge favor. She notices the new dresses which Alyssa designed and likes them. Alyssa is flattered and realizes that she might be wrong for calling out Taylor. Alyssa flies to Ohio to apologize to Taylor over coffee. She shares that Kendall liked her designs and is willing to finance and promote them and that her investors are intrigued. She asks Taylor to come back to New York to help her work her business out and calls her a partner. She accepts and flies back to New York. Taylor is surprised to see that Alyssa is closing her store in Manhattan to expand in other areas. Taylor does not approve and discourages Alyssa from her decision. Philip sees Taylor at the Indian food truck and apologizes for the last time. She says that she has to focus on her career for now and that they can only remain as friends. Taylor tells Mindy her plans for Align's future. Mindy tells her how Alyssa is truly a good person, especially to them both, and tells her to take a chance on Alyssa. Taylor makes a proposal plan for Align and shows it to Alyssa the next day while she is talking with her investors. Taylor brings Alyssa back to her roots of loving fashion. She proposes Align going online and more, so that they don't have to close the boutique in Manhattan. Alyssa tells her investors about the idea and follows with Taylor's plan. Alyssa convinces Taylor to have a love life, and they both thank each other. Taylor sets out to look for Philip in his company. Philip sees her walking and calls her. He is now riding his food truck. She tells him that she is now a partner in a line, and he says that the lady from the apartment she likes approved of her. They talk about their future plans, and the movie ends as they share a kiss inside the food truck in the middle of the street.